Welcome back to the channel JF Coin, where we hunt for hidden treasure hiding right in your pocket change, desk drawers, piggy banks, and coin jars. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins from the modern United States, the 1990 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it's just a 1-cent coin, right? But stick with me, because some of these pennies are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and the backstory is amazing. So grab your magnifying glass, your coin album, and let's unlock the secrets behind the 1990 1-cent Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a big story and even bigger value potential. Movie Camera Section 1. What is the 1990 Lincoln penny? The 1990 Lincoln penny is one of those coins most of us have seen a million times. It has Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and a face value of just 1 cent. This design has been produced for decades and is iconic for U.S. coin collectors. The 1990 cent was struck in a material that's quite different from early pennies. It's now made of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. That's 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, lighter and cheaper to make than the older solid bronze pennies from long ago. Now, you might be thinking, so it's just another penny from the 1990s? What makes it special? Well, you're about to find out. Clapperboard Section 2. Common versions versus rare ONES. Almost all 1990 pennies are super common. Billions were minted. The U.S. Mint produced over 11 billion pennies that year across different facilities. That includes Philadelphia pennies with no mint mark, Denver pennies with AD, and San Francisco proof pennies with an S. Most of these are worth nothing more than their face value, 1 cent. Even in nice uncirculated condition, they might only go for $1 or a few dollars at most. That's because there are just so many of them out there, and collectors aren't paying big money for ordinary examples. But, and this is the big but, some of them are incredibly rare, and those are the ones that make collectors' hearts pound. Movie Camera Section 3. The rare NOS proof. PHENOMENON. Here's where things get really exciting. In 1990. Something unusual happened at the San Francisco Mint. A special proof die was prepared without the usual S mint mark. Proof coins are special coins meant for collectors and have a mirror-like finish, and in this case a few got struck without the mint mark. These coins look like Philadelphia pennies at first glance, but they are proofs, and not normal business strikes. This era variety is called the No S proof 1990 penny. Now, how rare is this? Extremely rare. Only a few hundred are believed to exist. Some estimates suggest fewer than 200 survive today. That's unbelievably small compared to the billions of regular pennies out there. Because of this, these coins are highly sought after by collectors, and their values can go sky high. In fact, certified examples of this No S proof penny have been known to sell for thousands to even tens of thousands of dollars at auctions and in private sales. That's right. From a coin that normally says 1 cent, we are talking values that could rival rare gold coins. So if someone online told you a 1990 penny is worth $442, that's absolutely possible if it's a rare variety with collectible grade. Film Projector Section 4. More rare hunts, era coins. But wait, the story doesn't stop there. There are also rare era coins from 1990 that can be valuable. These include things like white medium star off-center strikes, where the design is shifted because the planchet slid during striking. White medium star wrong planchet errors, where a penny design was accidentally struck on a dime planchet or older bronze planchet. White medium star die cracks or doubled dies, where the die itself was damaged or misaligned, creating funny doubling or cracks on the letters and images. Some of these era coins have sold at auction for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One example was a 1990 penny on a bronze planchet, an error whose weight was different, and it brought over $4,000 at auction. So never toss out a weird penny you find in your change. Some of them might be mini treasures. Clapperboard Section 5. How can you tell if your 1990 penny is valuable? If you think you've got something special, here's what to look for. Magnifying glass tilt to left 1. Mint mark. Is there a DS or no mark? Magnifying glass tilt to left 2. Finish. Does the coin look like a proof with mirror-like fields? Magnifying glass tilt to left 3. Condition: is it in mint state with no wear? Magnifying glass tilted left 4. Errors: are there odd shapes, extra metal, or misalignments? If your penny stands out, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. A certified grade can make a huge difference in value. Movie Camera Section 6. Why collectors care about this coin. Collectors love the 1990 penny for a few reasons. Fire: it's part of the long-running Lincoln series, the longest-running design in U.S. coin history. Fire: it was part of a transitional era with changes in how mint marks were applied. Fire: the no-S proof is one of the most famous modern errors that collectors chase. Fire: it proves that even modern coins can be rare and valuable. And the best part? These pennies are everywhere, so you might already own one without even knowing it. Clapperboard conclusion: your TAKAWAY. So let's wrap this up. The 1990 Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like just another coin from the 1990s, but some are incredibly rare and valuable. Most are worth only a cent or a few dollars, but rare varieties like the no-S proof or certain era coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right collector. If someone told you it's worth $442, that's absolutely within the realm of possibility, especially if it's a rare proof or has a special grade. So next time you're counting coins, don't overlook those smooth little pennies. One of them might just be your ticket to a surprising fortune. Clapperboard OUTRO. Call TOACTIO. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. And don't forget to share this with a friend who loves hidden treasure in everyday life. See you next time on the channel, where change really can make change in your wallet. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1980 Lincoln penny, the tiny copper coin that hides big secrets and big value. This is not just any penny, this is the kind of coin that can make your jaw drop when you discover what it's truly worth. Pushpin INTRO. Set the STAG. The 1980 Lincoln penny is part of one of the most iconic and longest-running coin series in United States history, the Lincoln cent. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, this design revolutionized coinage by featuring a real person on U.S. currency for the first time. Over decades, this humble 1-cent piece has become a beloved collectible for coin enthusiasts around the world. But while most of these pennies from 1980 are just worth a single cent, some examples have become numismatic gold. What is the 1980 Lincoln penny? In 1980, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies across multiple facilities. These pennies still use the classic bronze composition. That means they were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, unlike later pennies that switched to mostly zinc due to rising metal costs. Because of this copper mix, pre-1982 pennies like the 1981s are more desirable for collectors and metal enthusiasts alike. There were 3 key versions of this coin: no mint mark, produced in Philadelphia; D mint mark, produced in Denver's proof coins, produced in San Francisco for collectors only. Most of these coins were made for everyday spending, which means most of them are now worth face value or just a few cents. Scroll the history behind the 1980 PN and why the 1980 penny came during an era of high inflation and rising copper prices. People were still using pennies in huge numbers, and the U.S. Mint was still producing them in massive quantities, billions of them. But changes were on the horizon. Soon pennies would stop being solid copper because it became too expensive to make them that way. This means the 1980 penny is part of the last generation of classic copper pennies before the shift in composition, making it historically significant. History plus rarity equals collector interest. Money bags. So, are they worth anything? Let's talk value. And this is where it gets exciting. For the average 1980 penny you find in your pocket change, it's usually worth just a few cents more than face value if uncirculated. In circulated condition, most are only worth around 1 cent to a few cents. But here's where things change. Fire: high grade and rare examples. If a 1980 penny has been perfectly preserved, meaning it's never been in circulation and has deep, original color and sharp details, collectors and grading services will pay much more for it. Uncirculated coins graded MS65 or higher can fetch prices that are huge compared to face value. In fact, Rare high-grade examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, even over $400 or more on auction markets. And that's not all. Brain-insane rare errors and varieties. Any coin can accidentally get misprinted during production, and coin collectors love these mistakes. For leaf clover double die obvrs, some 1980 pennies were struck with slight doubling of the date, or lettering. A mint error called a double die. These can be quite valuable, sometimes selling for hundreds of dollars depending on how strong the doubling looks. Cyclone weird STRIKS coins that are struck off-center, struck multiple times, or struck on the wrong planchet are true freaks of the minting process. These can be rare and fetch strong premiums, sometimes hundreds of dollars or more. Ultra rare auction sales. Believe it or not, at auctions the most perfect or rare 1980 pennies have sold for thousands, yes, thousands, of dollars. One known example of a top-grade 1980 penny reached levels like $2,000 plus when graded by major services. The coin market is unpredictable, but the most perfect coins break records. Chart increasing current market value. Why $442? When people talk about a price like $442 for a 1980 penny, what they're usually referring to is a high-grade certified example, one that has been looked at, authenticated, graded, and slotted into a premium category by professional graders. Coins like these are rare coins, not your everyday pocket change. This includes perfect color called red or red-brown coins, no signs of wear, full original mint luster, rare error types or varieties certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. When a coin ticks all those boxes, you're no longer looking at a 1-cent coin, you're looking at something collectors and investors deeply desire, which is why the price climbs into the hundreds or even thousands. Receipt tips for viewers. How to check your PNNY. If you have a 1980 penny and you're wondering if it's valuable, here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. Look for a D or S under the date. Check the condition. Are the surfaces shiny? Any scratches or wear? Look for errors. Are the numbers or letters doubled? Is it off-center? Get it graded. This is how professionals authenticate rarity and condition. Clapperboard conclusion. Final THOUGHTS. So after everything we've talked about, a regular 1980 penny? Probably worth a few cents in most cases. A highly graded, perfect example with rare features? It could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And that's what makes hunting through old coin jars so exciting. Imagine finding a dusty old coin in a drawer and learning it's worth hundreds of dollars or more. That's the magic of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin mysteries, hidden treasures, and powerful tips to spot valuable coins, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because you never know when your next penny could be your next big score. Moneybag Sparkles, thanks for watching, and today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 2002 Ultra Lincoln Penny, a 1-cent coin that, in rare cases, can be worth up to $442 or more. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video you'll not only understand why collectors are obsessed with this penny, but you might also start checking your own change more carefully. Scroll Section 1. The story behind the Lincoln Penny, 030 to 230 studio microphone. To understand the value of the 2002 Ultra Lincoln Penny, we need to go back to where it all began, the legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the first time a U.S. president appeared on a circulating coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, its release was one of the most significant moments in American numismatics. For over a century, this humble 1-cent coin has been in constant circulation, changing hands billions of times, yet within this sea of pennies lie rare treasures. Section 2. What makes the 2002 Ultra Lincoln Penny special? 230 to 430 studio microphone. So what's the deal with the 2002 Lincoln Penny? It's just a penny, right? Well, not exactly. The 2002 pennies were minted in massive quantities, millions and millions of them. Most are worth face value, just 1 cent, but within that giant batch, there is a special subset, ultra-rare coins with unique characteristics that make collectors go absolutely wild. backhand index pointing right. These special pennies can have one or more of the following: rare die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, minting anomalies, unusual planchet defects, studio microphone. And these errors? They're not just cool, they can turn a 1-cent coin into a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Money bag section 3. Why some are worth $442 and more. 4:30 to 7 o'clock, studio microphone. You might be wondering, wait, how can a penny be worth $442? Let's break it down. Magnifying glass tilted right. 1. Rarity creates value. Collectors value coins that are scarce and hard to find. Even if 2002 pennies were abundant, specific errors are extremely rare. Magnifying glass tilted right. 2. Demand from collectors. Coin collectors around the world are always hunting for unique specimens, especially modern coins with errors. Magnifying glass tilted right. 3. Condition matters. A loaded 2002 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition with a recognized error can fetch very high prices at auctions and online marketplaces. Magnifying glass tilted right. 4. Verified grading. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can reach premium prices, especially those with rare errors and perfect surfaces. Studio microphone. So when a rare 2002 Lincoln penny with a verified error pops up in top condition, the coin's value skyrockets. That's how a coin that cost you 1 cent originally can now be worth $442 or more. Brain section 4. Types of valuable 2002 Lincoln penny errors, 7 to 12 o'clock, studio microphone. Let's dive into the coolest part, the types of errors that make these pennies valuable. Small blue diamond. 1. Double die errors. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with a misaligned die. Creates shadow-like doubling of letters or numbers. These are extremely hot among collectors. Small blue diamond. 2. Off-center strikes. If the planchet, blank coin, wasn't aligned properly, part of the design is missing. Off-center errors are graded based on how much design is missing. The more missing, the rarer. Small blue diamond. 3. Die cracks or chips. Small cracks in the die can leave raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Some of these patterns are spectacular and unique. Small blue diamond. 4. Broad strike. Say broad strike coin expands larger than normal. These are unusual and eye-catching. Studio microphone. Every one of these variations tells its own story, and some of these pennies have literally sold for hundreds of dollars because of them. Chart increasing section 5. The market today, current values and trends, 12 to 1500 hours, studio microphone. So what's the market like today? Important, values fluctuate based on condition, rarity, and collector demand, and prices can go even higher than $442 for the most exceptional examples. Pushpin. Typical 2002 penny in circulation worth $0.01, pretty much what you'd expect. Pushpin 2002 penny with minor error worth $1, $10 plus. Pushpin 2002 penny with major error or rare varieties worth $50, $200 plus. Pushpin exceptionally rare or graded coins worth $300, $442 plus. Some impressive examples have reached $500 plus under the right conditions. Studio microphone. So whether you found one in your pocket, your kid's piggy bank, or at the bottom of a drawer, don't be too quick to dismiss that shiny 2002 penny. Magnet section 6. Tips for finding valuable pennies, 15 to 1700 hours, studio microphone. Now the real question, can you find one of these valuable pennies? Absolutely. And here's how. White heavy checkmark 1. Look for unusual lettering or numbers. Does the date or motto look doubled? Weird? Off, white heavy checkmark 2. Check for off-center strikes. Does part of the design seem missing or crooked? White heavy checkmark 3. Feel the edges, are they wider than normal? Uneven? White heavy checkmark 4. Compared to regular pennies, have a known good pennies side by side to spot subtle differences. Studio microphone. Grab a magnifying glass and start checking every penny you come across. You never know what treasure is hiding. Package section 7. Should you sell or keep? 17 to 1830, studio microphone. If you find a rare penny, you're probably asking, should I sell it or keep it? Round pushpin sell if heavy checkmark you want cash now heavy checkmark the coin's value is verified and documented heavy checkmark you're not a collector round pushpin keep if heavy checkmark you love coins heavy checkmark the penny has historical or sentimental value heavy checkmark you think it could appreciate in the future studio microphone. In the end, whether you sell or keep it, finding one of these rare pennies is a story worth telling. Party Popper OUTRO, Call to Action, 1830 to 1900 hours, studio microphone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin mysteries and treasure stories, and hit the bell so you never miss one of our amazing finds. Comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and tell us what it was worth. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep uncovering hidden treasure in your own change. End screen prompt. Watch next. Top 10 most valuable US coins worth over $1,000. Movie camera. Today we're uncovering something that sounds impossible. How a simple 1-cent 2006 Lincoln penny could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's market. Yes, you've heard that right. Picture this. A coin that literally costs you 1 cent right now could actually be worth over $400 or more. That's insane, right? Let's break down the history, the rarity, and exactly what makes some 2006 pennies collector gold. A brief history of the 2006 Lincoln PN and why the Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday and has been a staple of U.S. currency ever since. The design continued evolving over decades, and by 2006, we were deep into the Lincoln Memorial Reverse era, which started way back in 1959 and lasted until 2008. That means the 2006 penny carries nearly half a century of history in its design and is part of that iconic American legacy. In 2006, the U.S. Mint produced a staggering number of these pennies. Over 8.2 billion coins were struck between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That number is so huge that most of these coins end up in everyday circulation, being spent, saved, or forgotten in jars and drawers. But here's where things get super interesting. Collision, why most 2006 pennies are ordinary and worth face value. Here's the truth. The majority of 2006 Lincoln pennies are not rare. Most of them, especially those you find in your pocket change or in rolls from the bank, are worth just 1 cent today. That's because they were produced in enormous quantities, meaning the average one has zero collector premium unless it's in perfect condition. So if you pull one of these out of your piggy bank and its copper surface looks dull, worn, or circulated, it's probably still worth just 1 cent in market value. Even uncirculated coins without special characteristics often sell for just a few dollars. But now, let's talk about the exciting part. Gemstone the secret. Rare varieties that are worth real money. Although most 2006 pennies are common, a handful of rare versions and era coins can command very high prices among collectors. These special coins are not the everyday ones you spend. They're the gems collectors fight over at auctions and coin shows. Here's what makes them special. 1. Perfect UN circulated coins, top grade. Some 2006 pennies escaped circulation entirely. These coins still have their original red copper luster, sharp details, and no scratches. Grading companies like PCGS or NGC assign these coins high grades like MS65 to MS68, and those top examples can fetch hundreds, or even thousands at auction. In fact, a MS68 red specimen once sold for over $2,600, yes. A coin that costs 1 cent can sell for more than $2,000 if it's in absolutely perfect condition. Direct hit 2. Era coins, where the real treasure hides, and here's the part that gets collectors really excited. Era coins. These are coins that were misstruck by the mint in some way. That might mean letters look doubled, called double die obverse. The coin was struck off center. It has missing layers of metal. The planchet, coin disc, was wrong, and other rare mint mistakes. These era coins are rare because the mistakes happen by accident, and only a tiny number get released into circulation before they're caught. And that tiny chance means huge collector demand. For example, a 2006 double-die penny graded MS66 sold for over $1,000 at auction. Other error types like clamshell lamination or missing clad layers have sold for over $600 to $1,000 plus. Even more ordinary error coins, ones with slight off-center strikes or minor defects, can still sell for tens or even a few $100s depending on how dramatic the mistake is. This is where the headline number, asterisk, worth $442, comes in. It's a realistic market value for some of these rare 2006 Lincoln pennies with errors or high-quality grades. Collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for coins that stand out from the billions of ordinary ones. That's the magic of numismatics, the study of coins and currency. Chart increasing. What makes these coins in demand? Collectors look for several things: heavy checkmark, sharp, detailed strike with perfect surfaces, heavy checkmark, bright red color rather than brown or faded, heavy checkmark, no scratches or contact marks, heavy checkmark, rare mint errors or unusual features, heavy checkmark, certification by grading companies. Coins with these qualities are much harder to find than you might think, and rarity is the first rule of value in coin collecting. Tip: how to check if your penny ISVALUABLE want to know if that 2006 penny in your wallet might be worth more than a cent? Look for magnifying glass, tilted right, bright red color with strong shine, magnifying glass, tilted right, unusual features like doubling on letters, magnifying glass, tilted right, off center or missing designs, magnifying glass, tilted right, extra thick or thin metal spots, magnifying glass, tilted right, unusual weight or unusual look. If you think you found something special, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service like NGC or PCGS. That's how coins become officially recognized as rare and valuable. Party popper final thoughts: don't throw away your pennies. So here's the bottom line: most 2006 pennies are just worth face value. But the rarest ones, the perfect, error-struck, or ultra-high-grade examples, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right buyer. What was once spare change could actually be a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, have you ever found a coin worth more than you expected? Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest secret.